The aim of this video today is to do a product review of the Seasucker bike racks. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because my local bike store, BikeScene UK, when I was in there last, they told me they were struggling to sell these things because a lot of people seem a bit hesitant about them because, as you can see, they don't look anything like a normal bike rack. Now, the reason I ended up with one of these, we didn't actually have any being sold in the UK when I bought them. I imported this from America because I'm a keen mountain biker and I'm also into my cars, and the car I've got is pretty difficult to mount a bike to. There's no room inside it for a bike, and without damaging the paintwork, finding a bike rack is rather difficult. So I got in touch with Seasucker when they were purely based over in America, and basically this is what we came up with. This is the Seasucker Talon. It is a single bike carrier and it is mounted via these rubber suction cups. Now, the number one question I get asked when people see this out and about is it safe? And I'd be pretty happy to say, yes, I think it's safe. And I'm basing that on the facts that Seasucker have gave me. Now, Seasucker have told me that each one of these Seasucker mounts can hold up to 210 pounds of force. And I have to say that with those four combined, that's 840 pounds of force. Now, these are rated at 75 mile an hour to hold up to a 45 pound bike, which is approximately 22 kilos, so it's a pretty heavy bike to have on there in the first place. Now, I've used this multiple occasions on my car, and I used it with a 17 kilo downhill bike for a while, and I never once had a problem with it. I'm now running it with my new hardtail, and again, no problems. The only difference is I've got a different adapter on the front. Now, Seasucker do 3 different adapters for the racks. They do a 9mm quick release, they do a 15mm bolt through, and a 20mm bolt through. They do also do options for other needs, such as multi-bike racks, 2 and 3 bike racks, etc., and different styles of rack. Now, the main benefit for these, for me, is that I can get them on my car, it doesn't damage the paintwork, it doesn't damage the bike, and it's pretty damn secure. Now, the other thing is that whilst they are a bit more expensive than the budget bike racks, you can be sure that you're not getting any damage whatsoever, and also you don't need to change your bike rack when you change your car, which is a problem with a lot of roof racks. So, without further ado, I think we'll show you a bit of how it works and how you mount these racks to the car. Okay, so we're going to show you now how it mounts to the car, how it works, and why it's so great in what it does. So, the Seasuckers, they mount directly to your bodywork or to the glass of the car. The rubber feet sit on the glass, and then the vacuum pumps simply suck all the air out from underneath the suckers and they mount to the glass. Now, all you need to do is pump the vacuum pump until that white band stays inside the body. So we'll put that on there. As you can see, it's now fully compressed, and I can wrap my hand around there and give it a tug, and that's not going anywhere. Okay, so we're going to start by flipping the bike over like we've got it here, and we're going to mount the rear wheel mount onto the bike. Now, I always mount it with the vacuum pump towards the rear of the bike, purely because it gives better access, but it can be mounted either way. It doesn't really make any difference to the operation. So all that happens, the rear mount sits against the tyre, and the 3N Velcro strap goes around the wheel and simply fastens to it. So that's the rear wheel mount sorted. That's all that needs to be done. So now that we've got the rear wheel mount on, we're going to mount the front mount. Now, as you can see, this one's got 3 suckers on it and a fork mount on the top. So, straightforward, we're just going to remove the front wheel. So now that we've got the front wheel removed, The Seasucker simply fits into your forks with the single sucker pointing towards the rear of the bike. Now you can simply reattach your axle and tighten it up. Okay, so we've got both the Seasuckers mounted onto the bike, and all we're going to do is mount the bike straight onto the car. It's dead easy, and the great thing about these Seasuckers is that they will mount to any car, any shape, any size. So all we're going to do is simply push down onto the sucker that we're going to mount, and again use the vacuum pumps in and out until the white stripe stays inside the body, like so. And we're going to do that for all three of the front suckers before we move on to the rear wheel. There we go, that's the front one done, and we can now move on to the rear wheel. Okay, so the rear mount is more just to stabilise the bike. It doesn't really take as much load as the front ones do, and that's why there's only one holding it on. So all it does is keeps the bike in a nice straight line, stops it sliding about on the back of your car, and helps to protect your paintwork. So again, it's the same procedure. You simply use the vacuum pump on the sucker until it mounts securely. So that's it all mounted and it's ready to go. The front wheel can simply be slotted inside your car, and for me I put it on the rear shelf where the soft top sits. So as you'll be able to see from both the shots, we're now driving the car with the Seasuckers mounted to the roof. And what I'll say is that I've never really noticed any sort of stability issues with the Seasucker racks. I've used these racks up to their limit. I've drove down motorways 70 mile an hour with a 17 kilo bike on the back, and there's been absolutely no problems whatsoever. I would say that I'm massively impressed with this bit of kit, and it has solved a lot of problems for me when it's came to going mountain biking with my friends. It is realistically the only option I had with this car if I wanted a guarantee of no damaged paintwork, and up to now I am impressed with it. I've used this for about 6 to 8 months now and never had any problems for it. If you do have any problems with it, they are covered under a warranty, and they do also come with spare parts for them as well. So if anything does go wrong, you can replace the parts yourself, as you do get a spare suction mounted pump for it. Now we're going to go on to a bit of a faster road now, just so that you can see how the rack responds at higher speeds, and hopefully put a few people's minds at rest when they've seen the racks and they've just kind of thought, well, is that actually safe to use? Okay, so hopefully this video's cleared some things up for people that may have been interested in buying one of these racks, and hopefully it instilled a bit of confidence in the racks themselves. As you can see there, I'm giving the rack a bit of a shake there, and it's not giving whatsoever. Now if you do want to buy one of these, they are available online, and I would recommend getting in touch with the guys at BikeScene at Gisborough.